Welcome back to FoodCrafts, the channel about crafting food. Today, I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way to make pork belly right in your kitchen. There's going to be no overnight refrigerating, no hour-long boiling, and no frying. The only thing we care about is getting a nice, bubbly, crispy skin on top. At the end of this video, we are going to have a crispy pork belly in just under 2 hours. Let's start with the star of today's video, the pork belly. We have a 2-pound slab of pork belly with the skin on. Yes, it has to be skin on. That is non-negotiable. If you live in the United States, I've found the easiest way to source pork belly with skin on is by going to your local Chinese grocery store. A lot of butchers carry pork belly, but it usually doesn't include the skin on it. When choosing your pork belly, make sure you're looking for the meatiest slab that they have available. I know it sounds counterintuitive to get the pork belly with the least amount of fat on it, but pork belly is already very fatty. Trust me, you'll have more than enough fat from the pork belly skin. First, let's take our pork belly and flip it skin side down and make vertical cuts 3/4 of the way through the pork belly like so. Make sure you don't cut all the way through and definitely do not cut the skin. After our first series of cuts, we're going to turn the pork belly 90 degrees and make another set of cuts. If you're not comfortable with your knife skills, just go about halfway and you'll be fine. The cuts serve two purposes for our dish today. One, it's going to help us get more surface area to apply our seasoning rub on the pork belly. And two, this will help us cut the pork belly into nice bite-sized pieces after it comes out of the oven. Once our pork belly is cut, set that to the side and let's prepare our seasoning rub. In a large bowl, add 1 tablespoon of salt and half a tablespoon of white pepper. You can use black pepper if you don't have white pepper. Half a tablespoon of sugar, half a tablespoon of garlic powder, and half a tablespoon of Chinese 5-spice. Then give that all a quick mix and bring your pork belly back to center stage. We're going to generously sprinkle our seasoning mix all over the meat side of the pork belly. Make sure to season the insides of the meat where we made the cuts earlier. Try not to get any of the seasoning on the skin. Our seasoning will burn the skin when it's crisping up in the oven, and it'll prevent the skin from puffing up and getting light and airy. After that, get a piece of tin foil about twice the size of your pork belly and place your pork belly meat side down on top of the foil. From there, we're going to build a foil wall along the sides of our pork belly while leaving the skin exposed, like so. We're covering the meat to keep it moist and to lock in that flavor while it's cooking in the oven. Otherwise, the meat is going to dry out before the skin can get crispy. Now that our pork belly is ready to go into the oven, let me explain this two-step process. The first time the pork belly goes into the oven, the goal is to dry out the skin and prepare it for the second cook. Once we dry out the pork belly skin, it's going to go back in the oven for one final cook, and that's where the magic happens. Now, before our pork belly can go in the oven, brush a thin layer of white vinegar on the skin and also sprinkle some salt on top. The vinegar and salt will both extract moisture from the skin, and additionally, the salt is going to flavor our skin. We're going to put our pork belly in a 225 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 1 hour. After the hour is up, let's take a look at our pork belly. The key thing here is to make sure that the pork belly skin feels leathery and bone dry. Once the drying step is complete, brush a thin layer of neutral oil on the skin and it's ready for the oven. Our pork belly is going into a 400 degrees Fahrenheit oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. Make sure to keep an eye on your pork belly because every oven is going to vary in cook times. While our pork belly is in the oven, if you're enjoying the video, could you please like, comment, and/or subscribe to the channel? I'd really appreciate it. Behold, our crispy pork belly is complete. Obviously, you can tell the skin is crispy, but listen to how crispy this pork belly skin really is. We're now transferring our pork belly to the cutting board to prepare for the first taste test. The skin has crisped up perfectly despite doing a subpar job during the drying stage. We're looking for a nice golden brown color and a raised pork belly skin. That's how you know it's going to be airy inside and not hard. Let's try the skin by itself for the real test. And if this doesn't get you excited to make some pork belly, I don't know what will.
Holy cow.
Some key tips when making crispy pork belly: make sure you look and touch the pork belly skin after it's in the oven. If it doesn't feel dry and leathery, go ahead and put it back in the oven for another 10 to 20 minutes. This step will dictate if your pork belly will turn out well or not. Additionally, pay close attention to your pork belly when the skin is crisping up. Cooking times can vary and your pork belly will go from flat to crispy to burnt in a couple of minutes if you're not paying attention. Personally, I like to enjoy my pork belly with rice and something acidic like kimchi to cut through the fatty pork, but feel free to mix up your pork belly with whatever you feel like. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more FoodCraft content. I'll see you all next time.